yati, he goes, sansratim, to repeated birth and death. Yah, which body, anuyati, follows, dadat, giving, klesam, misery, avidya, by ignorance, karma, by fruitive activities, bandhanaha, the cause of bondage. So we'll see translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan Arvind, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. For the sake of the body, which is source of constant trouble to him, and which follows him because he is bound by ties of ignorance and fruitive activities. He performs various actions which cause him to be subjected to repeated birth and death. See the purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that one has to work to satisfy Yajna or Vishnu. For any work done without the purpose of satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is cause of bondage. In the conditioned state, living entity accepting his body as himself forgets his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and acts on the interest of his body. He takes the body as himself, his bodily expansion as his kinsman, and the land from which his body is born as a worshipable. In this way, he performs all sorts of misconceived activities, which lead to his perpetual bondage in repetition of birth and death in various species. In modern civilization, the so-called social, national, and government leaders mislead people more and more under the bodily conception of life. With the result of that, all the leaders with their followers are gliding down to hellish conditions, birth after birth. An example is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Andha yathandhir upniyamanaha. When a blind man leads several other blind men, the result is that all of them fall down in a ditch. This is actually happening. There are many leaders to lead the ignorant public, but because every one of them is bewildered by the bodily conception of life, there is no peace and prosperity in human society. So-called yogis who performs various bodily feats are also in the same category as such ignorant people, because the Hatha Yoga system is especially recommended for persons who grossly implicated in the bodily conception. The conclusion is that as long as one is fixed in the bodily conception, he has to suffer birth and death. So we'll pray to our parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishapanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं। श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वर। So I will speak based on the teaching of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. So whatever I will try to speak on the mercy of all the Gurujana and all the Vaishnavas, whatever I can deliver good. So consider those mercies, and if I could not do better, all is my inability to communicate well. So here in 31st sloka, we can see that again the soul or jiva again on the same condition that we saw in the last chapter, that he is doing all the activity which are in the material or bodily conception. So he suffered, he died, he suffered, and again took the birth in the womb of mother. And in the womb of mother, he's getting so much pain, and at the time of death also he suffered lot of pain at the time of leaving the body as well as after leaving the body, because of his karmas, because of the karma bandhana, he suffered in the hellish planet or hellish conditions. But again, when he took the birth, again he same pain and suffering from all the bodily conception. And when he got birth and when he is growing also, he suffered so much. And when he grown up, he again into the bodily conception. If he is doing the same activity, he do the same repeated birth and death. So he was praying in the womb of mother, so that when I will go out, I will do the bhakti and I will do the all required prescribed duties. But he forget everything because of the Maya. So in one of the Kabir Dohas, that it says the गर्भ काल में भक्ति कबूल है एंड बाहर निकले तो सब कुछ भूले. तो गर्भ काल में ही accepted the I will do the devotional service, but when we come out, then everything is forget. So we'll see. We'll try to understand the today's verse by one of the story from the Srimad Bhagavatam in the canto 4 about the Maharaj Pratu. So Maharaj Pratu's story is there from chapter number 15 to 23 in the canto 4. So we saw that from canto 4, chapter 15, that started how about the Maharaj Pratu's birth and his activities. He performed the yagyas, he performed the 99 yagyas, and Prabhupada has explained that everyone has to perform the yagyas. So he explained that how to live the life. So Maharaj Pratu is the Shaktiavesh avatar of Supreme Lord. So he comes here to show us how to live the life and how to rule. So we see whole purport comparing with the Maharaj Pratu's life. So Maharaj Pratu did the all yagya, 99 Aswamedh yagya, and not for the becoming the Indra. He wants to please the Supreme Lord. When he tried to do 100th yagya, every time Indra steal the horse. And when he got angry, then Lord Brahma pacified him that your purpose is already solved, so you don't have to perform 100th yagya. Your Supreme Lord already pleased with you. So we see his activities he did for all his citizens. He take care of the Mother Earth and consider the Mother Earth as his daughter, and give the name of Prithvi after that. So important thing is that after that his instructions. So important instruction he gave to his citizens. So we'll see in subsequent slides. And after he completed his ruling, and when he say that it's time to take the vanaprastha, he took the vanaprastha at the right time and went to the forest for the austerity and the for the devotional service. So he went with his wife, name is Archie. So in chapter 23, beautifully explained about the Maharaj Prathu's activities in the forest. He do the all types of austerities in the forest and tolerating all the weathers, winter, rainy season, and summer. He do the austerity in the summer near to the Agni or the in extreme heat and tolerating it. And because he's in the not in the bodily conception, he's there to please the Lord. And similar thing when there is a winter is difficult to tolerate. It's too cold and difficult. We are afraid to touch to the water. But in the winter season, he do the austerity in the inside the water, and same thing in the rainy season. In open air, open sky. And when he left his body after doing all this austerity in the Vanaprastha ashram, and he not only leave his gross body as well as the subtle body and go back to the Godhead. And seeing this, his wife Archie, she lamented that I lose my husband, but then she knew that what is the purpose of this life and what is the leading to uh, what is the goal of human form of life. So she followed her husband and become the sati in that. She perfectly done all the rituals first for her husband and then took as a sati in the same fire. Seeing this, all the demigods and demigods' wives from the sky, they are praising to the both husband and wife, the King Prathu and Queen Archie, that how the fortunate they are, and they did the how beautiful service to the Supreme Lord and achieved the Golok Dham, and they went back to the uh, spiritual world. So seeing this, all the demigods' wives are praising and to the act of Queen Archie also. So when she's praying, those wives of demigods are praying that. So one of the important verses are there in the 23rd chapter, that is 28th verse. So they say is Savanchito Batad Madruk Kachen Mahata Bhuvi Labdhya Pavargyam Manusyam Vishayesu Visajatte. So any person who engages himself within this material world in performing activities that necessitate great struggle, and who, after obtaining a human form of life, which is a chance to attain a liberation from miseries, undertakes the difficult task of fruitive activities, must be considered to be cheated and envious of his own self. So they are saying that everyone is here in the great struggle in the material world. So everyone in the material world engaging in the great struggle from all the material duties. And when we have the human form of life, which is a chance to attain liberation from miseries, undertakes the difficult task of fruitive activities. And if someone is taking the fruitive activities and doing a karma bandhana, must be considered to be cheated. So what he is doing, so it is written here, vanchito. They're saying vanchito batat madruk. So they are cheating themselves and envious of his own self, because they are not considering the devotional service. So that is their explaining. And second is here, a chance to liberation, labdhya pavargyam. So they are losing the chance of liberation in the important human form of life. So we'll see that apavargyam. So apavarga Prabhupada explained in the first canto, second chapter, 9th sloka, in one of the lecture, that apavarga means nullifying the pavargas. Pavargas are this material world is called pavarga. So this material world called is pavarga, and nullifying those and going for the liberation is a apavarga. So we see here they are saying apavargyam manusyam, liberation, attaining the chance of liberation. So Pavarg is a Pavarg. There is a 5 vargas explained by Prabhupada uh, in that lecture, that 5 types of vargas in the Sanskrit grammar: the ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, and pa varga. So this pa varga is explained here, and pa varga start with the pa, fa, ba, bha, and ma, about this material world, and this material world called the pa varga. And pa means here parishram, or our activities that is goes to the and hard labor or endeavor, we can say. And fa means fena, so we'll explain that fa. And ba means bandhana, bondage. Bha means bhaya, and then last is a mrityu. So this material world is called pavarga, means here we have to labor very hard. So Prabhupada explained this in the lecture, that is this material world is a pavarga, and we have to labor very hard. Sometimes by laboring, as you have seen in the animals, bulls and horses, they produce foam in the mouth. So they get foam in the mouth because they are so much doing hard work. When earlier, that is bullock cart is there, so when they drew they carry the cart miles, uh, hundreds of miles, or sometimes not hundreds of miles, but even 10 miles or 15 miles also, they get tired and with those hard labor, and they get the foam in the mouth, and they are halving that, and that is called, Prabhupada says that is a fur. So we also do lot of hard labor and work, and and we sometimes get frustrated that what I'm doing, everything, again those activity repeated, that 9 to 15 job, all 15 hours working. So, and working for the money, and those money we are trying to enjoy the material senses. And then we are always full of anxiety, and at last there is a mrityu, or death. This is the material life. We work very hard and struggle for hard existence, and that also at the end we die. That is a mrityu. So here in the this sloka, that's called avidya karma bandhana. So avidya karma bandhana. So how we bound because of the working hard for this body. For the sake of this body, we are working very hard, because avidya, ignorance, and karma bandhana. That is the two important reason working hard for this body. That is agyan or avidya, and second is karma bandhana, fruitive activities. So here, one thing explained that in one of the lecture, that how to this ignorance goes toward the karma bandhana. So first, avidya, ignorance goes into the forgetfulness, lead to the forgetfulness, that is asmita. Avidya leads to asmita, and from asmita, forgetfulness, we develop that raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. So whatever, because first thing is we are ignorant, and avidya, we consider as ourselves as a body, and that forgetfulness ourselves as a soul, and we attach with those things which are good for the body, or senses we want to enjoy, and we don't want those things which are not in our favorable for the bodily pleasure. So those are aversion or dvesha. So that's because of the forgetfulness leads to raga and dvesha, and when raga and dvesha is there, so we'll engaged in the fruitive activities or karma bandhana, and absorb into those karma bandhana. We try to enjoy whatever want to that, and we try to avoid which we don't like, our body doesn't like, which is not suit for the body. We try to avoid those. So we are doing the same thing repeatedly because of the avidya, and leads to the absorption in the fruitive activities. So that's why it's two important things shared in this sloka, that is that working hard for this body is because of the ignorance and fruitive activities, avidya and karma bandhana. So Prabhupada explained in the purport that so-called social, national, and government leaders mislead people more and more under the bodily conception of life, with the result that all the leaders with their followers are gliding down to the hellish condition, birth and after birth. So we'll see this again example of Maharaj Prathu. So before that, we'll see the Freedom by Surrender is the one of the book by His Divine Grace, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And Maharaj written that in that king or government leader are the as agent of sense gratification. So those are not working for the benefit of the people, but they are working as a sense gratification agents for all their citizens. But we can see that how to learn from the scriptures. So Prabhupada explained in the Prabhupada explained in the Bhagavad Gita for 4.1 purport that executive heads of all the states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path, utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. So that is the ideal situation that Prabhupada is giving. And we can see in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Maharaj Prathu's instruction in the 21st chapter and 24 and 25 number sloka. Maharaj Prathu explained that and give the instruction to his citizens that any king who does not teach his citizens about their respective duties in terms of varna and ashrama, but who simply exact tolls and taxes from them is liable to suffer for the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. So here, similar thing, Prabhupada is quoting this in the purport. So government leaders are misleading more and more and under the bodily conception. And what is the result for that? Their followers are gliding down to the hellish condition, birth and after birth. And not only their followers or the citizens, also those leaders also gliding down again and again and suffering into the hellish planets. So here Maharaj Prathu again instructed in the 25th sloka of the 24th chapter, 21st chapter, 25th sloka. So therefore, my dear citizens, so in 24th sloka, King Prathu says that because of use of if you will not know that you are varna and ashrama, and simply the king will take the tolls and taxes, and those because of those impious activities that done by citizens, so that goes to the king also, because they are sharing those earning to the king also, and that cause of the misfortune of the king also. Therefore, my dear citizens, for the welfare of the king after his death, so that's why he is saying that for the welfare of the king after his death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of your in terms of your positions of varna and ashrama. So Maharaj Prathu is explaining that whatever duty you will do that, and whatever activities or prescribed duties you perform, that goes to the king also. So because sake of your king, or for me after my death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of varna and ashrama, and should always think of supreme personality of Godhead within your hearts. By doing so, you will protect your own interests. So he's saying not only you will protect your own interests, but also you bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after death. So that's the important thing. So when king guiding properly to his citizens that what is their important duty in this life, human form of life, that is the important goal. And when king is not advising that, that sin also goes to the, and he also suffer into the hellish planets. So Maharaj says that in one of his book that human life is failure if the end is not the happiness. So how we'll get the happiness? So happiness will get the when we connect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how in the human form of life we can get the attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by. So the important things that in this sloka it says that we are working on the bodily conception because of the karma, bandhana, and avidya. And opposite to that, if we go out of from the bodily conception, we search the spiritual path by the mercy of Supreme Personality Godhead or his pure devotee. So when how the citizens or how the human or soul will get the those sukruti. So there is a two things explained. Either he will get the previous life sukruti because of the previous life sukruti, he will get the spiritual path, or second is the mercy of the uh, Supreme Personality of Godhead or his pure devotee. So how we'll get the Sukriti? So Prabhupada explained that we have to be in the association of the devotees. So we'll get the Sukriti when Prabhupada's disciples or Prabhupada's uh, American disciples asked Prabhupada, what we done in earlier life that we got this all good fortune that we are getting spiritual education from you directly. So Prabhupada say you didn't do anything. It's I am giving you the sukritis. You don't have the sukritis. That's why you are born here. But I am giving you the sukritis. So that's the important point. Prabhupada explained that we have to always be in the sadhu sangha. So sadhu sangha, sarva shastra ko hai, shana matra sadhu sangha, lav matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoye. So with that, I will want to stop here. If any question, comment, or suggestion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Chintamani.
Thank
We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Prahlade, Jaya Padma
Brinka. Ugram Viram
Ugravira Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narsingam Vishan Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Prarthana Raja ki jai, let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaya Patitanam Pavanebhaya Vaishnavya Namo Namaha Vaishnavinda ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Premanande Hari.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Chantamanu Prabhu. Thank you. Nice class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.